Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by now. Here's JP.
All right, welcome into a what should be a very interesting Wednesday edition of the JP Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, right? We had so much going on this week,
Last
man.
time I checked.
Oh, my Lord. I was up late.
I'm wearing my Wednesday underwear, so I hope it's Wednesday.
We got Buck Stadium news to get to. We got Zac Robinson, the offensive coordinator, who spoke yesterday. Very interesting press conference, and maybe more interesting is some of the information I've gotten out of Atlanta in the past 24 hours vis-a-vis Zac Robinson. We'll have to take it with a grain of salt because obviously, he's moving on. They were fired. It wasn't great, but some interesting tidbits there that we will pass along to you guys here today. A good friend of mine, Chris Garrido, will be joining us. He is a author now, an inspirational speaker, and a longtime sports guy here in town, working for, Florida Sports Sun back in the day. Anyway, he'll join us, and we'll have a lot of fun talking about local sports and his journey of weight loss, which has been absolutely incredible. We were going to have Scott Hamilton on today from our FanStream Sports Carolina, but he is something that's come up that he has to go attend to. We're going to talk about the Clemson-Ole Miss tampering disaster, which I think is a really, really big story, but we'll do that another day. And we got
Scott Hamilton is so in demand, JP, that he was double booked.
Was he? Is that what happened?
That's what happened. Yeah. So I said, well, I guess we see where we stand in the hierarchy of things.
We lost the double booking face-off.
We lost the double booking face-off. Yeah.
It happens. It happens. All good. It's actually better because we have a lot. We have a lot of local stuff we got to get to, and I know you guys want to comment on it. So having him on another day actually works out very, very well. Yeah. So, we have to change things on the fly a lot, like I did this morning when we came into the studio. So that's why we're a little late. But we're up and we're running. You can hear me, which is good. By the way, we did. Good morning to you, IndyCarTim. I actually did not say good morning to you, did I?
No, I'm a little hurt. It's fine. It's fine though. Everyone else is saying good morning to me. I even got called Tim Applebee's Hamm on the.
Yeah, there you go.
Got here from, I think that was Sergio that did that. But yeah, so
I think we had a feels like this morning of about 25 degrees.
Really?
Yeah, and we're going to get Gulf effect snow, Gulf of America effect snow. Do you know what that is?
Well, I know what lake effect snow is up in the north.
Same thing, but it comes off the Gulf of America.
I don't think that's how that works in Tampa.
There are memes on the interweb, so it has to be true. Florida Storm Chasers is an account, and he's got this beautiful graphic that shows, snow coming into the Panhandle and parts of Tampa, because I guess lake effect snow is the cold air going over the water, creates snow, not necessarily precipitation with the wind and everything. Well, they're saying that the conditions are right for that to happen here.
That's insane.
And when? Saturday and Sunday into the outdoor hockey game. That's right. We're going to get snow in Florida the day of the outdoor hockey game. It's going to be one of the coldest days in a decade. How perfect is that?
Thanks a lot, Bin Laden.
God is a Lightning fan, or the chemtrails are working, whatever you want to say. And whatever the NHL paid to manipulate the weather, well done. Well done, because we're all going to be freezing our ass off in the stadium, which is the way it should be for an outdoor hockey game. It's absolutely perfect. And if it does actually snow, and they're saying conditions are right for it, but obviously it's never happened. Will it happen? Doubtful. But they're saying like a 20% chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
I mean, that's a pretty good chance.
By the way, I did tweet it out, and you may have it or not. And if you want to put it up, the floor of the Raymond James Stadium and what they're surrounding the ice sheet with. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. This
looks very cool.
I don't remember them doing this for any other stadium game.
Yeah, they've done it. They did it up in Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Not the one we went to. I don't think. I don't remember if they did it, it wasn't done very well. But this is completely pirate themed, with all the different names for We've got Headman's Cove. Let me get all the different names. Anyway, it's like a pirate treasure map with the ice rink right in the middle of it. And the tent is up. The Raymond James is looking great. And by the way, we will have a Lightning Hockey Night live. We're doing our thing before the game and the preview segment. So we will have a JP Lightning Hockey Night live. We're going to record it after tomorrow night's game. I'm trying to go full pirate here, Timmy. I'm trying to go full pirate.
You should be going
costume.
full pirate for this.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to get my boys to help me out, get me all dressed up in the makeup. Look at this. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look. And they're actually going to bring the floats in and boats. Like here to the right really side. Like there's going to be the floats from the Gasparilla player, the Mystic Crew float. They're bringing in a boat. I don't know what kind of boat it's going to be, but obviously it's going to be some type of pirate ship. And of course, we have the other pirate ship in the other side to your left, which would be screen left.
Right.
Yeah. They're going to start putting in the stadium logos and everything tomorrow. But yeah, look at all the different things they got down there.
Freaking
this is what's
awesome.
going to look. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. They have spared absolutely no expense. It's spared no expense whatsoever in doing this deal. It's really, really cool. And I think, listen, the freaking tickets are really expensive, but they're worth it.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth it. It's good. They are not, it's one time, like when you get an overpriced meal and it's like, they're charging you $150 for a steak and potatoes and whatever they're going to charge. And then the portions are small.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to charge me $150, like give me at least enough smashed potatoes to make it worth it. Like why you chinsing on the portions here when you're charging me that much money? They ain't chinsing on the portions here. They're giving you everything. So really, really cool. And super excited about Sunday night. We got a game Thursday night, tomorrow night against Winnipeg. That'll be our Gasparilla themed game. So yeah, we'll hopefully be going full pirate there.
Nice.
All right. So let's get to a couple things. Yesterday, there was actually last night, it kind of broke. Colleen Wright from the Times, quoting, I guess, a report from another reporter that the cost of the stadium is going to be $2.3 billion. $2.3 billion, which is
sounds about right.
It's a full billion more than what they were going to spend in St. Pete. And that was, a design that was done roughly 18 months ago. So it's sticker shock. As I told you the other day, it's going to get ugly early. And I think what the Rays are trying to do, what Mayor Castor is trying to do, what Ken Hagan is trying to do, what the TSA and Eric Hart are trying to do is to get this negotiation done, outside of the press. Like, we don't want piecemeal things going out here and there, because what happens is what happened yesterday. The price, excuse me, kind of leaked out. This is how it starts in Colleen's piece. It says the Tampa Bay Rays have privately shared a new cost estimate for the stadium they're hoping to build in Tampa, $2.3 billion, not including surrounding development. That figure, told to a Tampa Bay Times reporter Tuesday by Tampa Sports Authority CEO Eric Hart, is $1 billion more than what the Rays had proposed to build a stadium in St. Petersburg 2 years ago. It came out after a meeting of the Sports Authority board members on Tuesday, where Hart was peppered with questions about a preliminary agreement approved by the Hillsborough College's District Board of Trustees last week. The agreement presents a roadmap of what needs to be negotiated before the Rays build a stadium and mixed-use development at its Dale Mabry campus. But the team has not publicly shared details of its plan, including what it intends to ask the public to contribute or a stadium design and cost estimate. Hart said the agency's consultants are running numbers the Rays shared with them, and their analysis should help inform the public agency through upcoming negotiations. He said stadium construction firm Skanska is reviewing what he said was a $2.3 billion cost projection for the stadium by working with a price estimator, which is a company called Aegon. So I texted Eric. He's been on the show, friend of the show, known Eric for a long, long time. And hopefully we're going to get some clarification on the $2.3 billion. I was told that conversation with the reporter may not have been, he may have been kind of estimating what he's been told might be the team's share of this. So there's a lot of, what might be, what might have, what could be, this, that, and the other. Again, all of this coming out piecemeal, what happens is you get people freaking out. So now the whole town is freaking out. Oh, $2.3 billion, it's way too much money. What's in it? Is that part of the cost for the entire thing? Now this says no, but we don't know. We don't know. This is not a finished number. None of this is, the negotiations aren't complete. We don't know what the cost of the stadium is going to be. We don't know what the cost of the entire build out is going to be. Nothing is finalized. And the mayor was at an event, I guess, and Colleen asked her some other questions, and she said, we are in negotiations, and we're basically paraphrasing we're very confident we can work something out, which is never the headline, and never the headline. It's never the headline. Oh, mayor, very optimistic that the Rays deal will work out. That's never the headline. It's always something negative, and that's just the way the Times is going to do it. And unfortunately, I don't have the time to go to sit in the meetings. Colleen does, and she's doing a great job getting all this reporting. But I don't have time to go do that and follow everything else. I'm at the Zac Robinson press conference. So we're doing what we can, and we're going to get you the information as soon as we can get it. And I've texted Eric this morning to get some clarification on the $2.3 billion. He's a very busy man. He's got a stadium series coming up, which by the way, he has been instrumental in putting all this together. The NHL has said without equivocation, this is the best group that they've ever worked with in terms of the stadium series. Eric Hart's team, Bobby Sylvester, everybody over there, they have done a phenomenal job. Obviously, you see the fruits of it. And what a task, right, to do an outdoor hockey game in Tampa, right? And they have overlooked nothing. And it's been a phenomenal execution so far. The ice is down. The tent is down. They'll be practicing in there on Saturday. We'll see all the logos go down tomorrow. I'm going to try to get over there tomorrow and get some pictures of that for you guys and put that up on social. So Eric's hands are very, very full with this. So this that popped up yesterday is something else that he's having to deal with as part of the TSA there, the CEO of the TSA. I believe that's his exact title. Anyway, he's the one that does a lot of the negotiations. So we don't have and as I said in my post, let's calm down, let's be patient, and let's wait for the deal to be on the table so we can soak it all up. Getting stuff out piecemeal just creates chaos, and I understand we're reporting. I get it. Everybody wants to know, get the story first. Totally understand that. We would, if we got the estimate, we would try to put it out there in perspective, but we don't know what that includes. We don't know if that's the actual price. We don't know. So let's not freak out about everything until we get the entire picture.
So
he's coming.
So let me touch on this for a minute. I can't tell if when you texted me, holy crap, 2.3 billion yesterday. I couldn't tell if this was sticker shock or if that figure somehow surprised you. Like, I don't know what numbers have been thrown around. From a national standpoint, to me, my initial reaction is, yeah, 2.3 billion. That's what it costs to build a stadium these days. Yeah. That is not surprising to me at all. Yeah. That might be on the low end of what I was thinking because, it seems like every time there's a stadium built, you got to outdo the last guy, right? And let's just go on MLB stadiums here, JP. While you were just talking, I threw this together. Here are your top 5 most expensive MLB stadiums. We'll start at number 5. And these are inflation-adjusted numbers for those listening on the app and listening later, don't have the benefit of the video. Yeah. Truist Park in Atlanta, built in 2014. $870.9 million. All right, you're pushing $1 billion. Back in 2006, $1.02 billion for Nationals Park in Washington. Also in 2006, the Mets built Citi Field, $1.23 billion. Here in Arlington, the Rangers in 2017, almost $1.5 billion.
Yeah, that's a more comparable market size.
Right. And then, of course, New York Yankees in 06. Had a bunch of parks built in 06, by the way. Inflation adjusted $3.4 billion for the new Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Now, look,
obviously, construction costs in D.C. and New York, obviously, a lot more. Yeah.
And materials are more. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But to me, this is just a natural progression of what it costs to build a state-of-the-art stadium. You're not going to skimp anywhere.
Yeah.
And $2.3 billion right now kind of seems like a deal to me, to be quite honest, comparatively.
I'll say, since we were talking about 1.3 for what they were going to do in St. Pete, which I don't even know what that number was, because I don't even think that thing was ever going to be built. They never had any real specific renderings. They had some renderings, but they were very vague. Nothing really specific on it because they never really planned on building it.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to see next week in this press conference. Hopefully, they haven't announced it yet, but we've been told it's coming next week. That you're going to see the renderings, and you're not going to get a financial plan then either, I've been told. But the governor's going to come down. It's going to be a lot about Hillsborough College, but also about the Rays as well. So we'll figure it out, and we'll wait till we get all the numbers to digest it, see what the public outlay is going to be or needed, and how that's going to be paid back. That's to me. The total number, and of course, $2.3 billion is not a deal breaker. How much are they going to pay? How much are we expected to pay? How much are we expected to get back? And show me the plan. If they just throw, we're going to make $3 billion back in tax revenue. Okay, show me the plan. We're going to scrutinize it, and we're going to look at it and see if it's a good deal for everybody. Again, there's been kind of a national feel of not putting a whole lot of money into sports stadiums. And then, Kansas City and the Chiefs came out and blew that out of the water. And so there's kind of a return to more public input. I mean, look what they were going to do in St. Pete. That was a $2.4 billion cost to the taxpayers on the taxpayers, not just the team. So look, again, there's a lot of ways to digest these numbers. I just say, let's chill out and wait till the whole thing comes out instead of reacting to piecemeal things where we don't have the full story. Again, if it's $2.3 billion and the entire project is going to bring back, and the public cost of that is $1 billion, and you're going to get $1.5 billion back, then it's a good deal. If you don't, then it's not, and we'll look at it for what it is. But right now, just going and throwing up your hands and going $2.3 billion. Oh, go to Orlando, go back to St. Pete, which of course is what you see all over.
Right.
The frequency. So anyway,
those people read the Tampa Bay Times.
All right, we're going to get to Zac Robinson here in just a second, but I want to get into some of the comments that are coming in vis-a-vis the Rays. Go Millionaire says if they offered to cut a check for $2.2 billion themselves, the Times would still have an issue with it somehow twisting it, and we wonder why they keep their cards so close. Don't blame them. Yeah, exactly. This is why they're not doing this out in public. Again, we've been told that, and they said this in the press conference, we want to follow the template of the Atlanta Braves. Exactly what they did, except get more acreage, because that's what they told us. Get more acreage, get more land to build.
Right.
So they're building on what is already an immensely successful stadium project, and they're going to make it better because they're going to get more real estate and be able to recoup more in terms of development, which goes back into the team conceptually. And if it doesn't, we will hold their feet to the fire. Trust me on that. Absolutely, we will. But yeah, and you're getting a lot of negativity from the Times, and I'm sure we'll see a John Romano column today about $2.3 billion. Oh my God. Yeah, Joel says Truist was more like $1.1 billion with the battery included. Yeah, that stadium number, the 870, was just the stadium number.
Just
again,
the stadium.
That doesn't have a roof, so keep that in. This one's going to have a roof, and maybe a retractable roof with that price tag. So we were told they weren't going to do a retractable roof, but again, let's see what it is.
Drone tarp.
Alejandro Noriega says, with the mixed development around a stadium, would it be just hotels, restaurants, and bars? If I was the Rays, I would create a park full of statues, the most famous Rays in franchise history. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the renderings and kind of the accoutrement that's going to come along with the stadium. And those things will hopefully be announced next week. That'll be the fun part. We'll get into some of the fun part, but no, it's going to be hotels, restaurant, bars, condos, office space, and a college. There's going to be a college campus on there as well, a smaller version of what the Hillsborough College is now. So, and they'll, everybody that's involved with the college seems to be very, very upbeat about this. So all these, op-ed pieces about how this is destroying education and the horrible Rays, trying to relocate Hillsborough College. Please stop with that silliness.
They're getting new buildings out of this.
Go Millionaire says you should write an op-ed to the TBT to cut the negativity out a little, JP. You know what? That's a great idea. I will do that.
Never publish it.
It doesn't matter. We'll publish it, but I'll send it to them and they'll either.
I mean, we have a platform on fanstreamsports.com for us to publish all of the original written content. So, that's
so I will pen one. And I don't know, it's Gasparilla this weekend. I got a lot going on. But you know what? Why don't we wait to see what the deal is? And then we'll pen one. How's that sound? Before we go, popping off with all this silliness. What else we got? Here we go. Go Millionaire says, what's up with the constant weekly negative articles the Tampa Bay Times continues to pump out? Not a single positive article yet since this group bought the team. TBT is part of the problem. Yep. 100%. We talk about this a lot. It's a big topic of conversation on social media. It's not just us talking about this. It is what it is. This is a paper that has been rooted in St. Petersburg. And obviously they're going to, if they're going to have an opinion, it's going to be, we want the team in St. Pete. And everything that Mayor Welsh said yesterday is obvious that they are moving on. It's not going to be in St. Pete. So, and it almost feels like the TBT doesn't want it in Tampa either. And would rather it go to Orlando, which is just kind of crazy. I don't get that. But more than that, it's political as well. I mean, let's not, we don't do that here. We keep it real. It's political. The Times is a left-leaning paper. It always has been. It's anything that DeSantis is for, they hate. It's just, I mean, that's fact. It's absolute fact. Everybody knows it. And when the Rays were a very left-leaning organization. And I'm saying that's good or bad. It's just what it is. And they were all very, kumbaya with that. And it's politics. It is what it is. It's a huge driving force. And so let's not ignore it. I'm not saying it's good, it's bad, it's whatever it is. But this group is aligned, obviously, with DeSantis, a very conservative governor that has constantly been the ire of the Times. So if Ron DeSantis is for it, the Times is going to be against it. You know that. It's politics. And that's part of this. So you can choose to read it or you can choose not to. And looks like most people are choosing not to.
Good for them.
Alejandro Noriega says, morning, JP. So the price of this new stadium, possibly $2.3 billion. How much will that come out of public? We don't know. Are the renderings new or are they old concept art never used before, like Ybor plans? I don't know. I think it's good. I think they're going to be new. I think it's going to be new renderings. It's a new, it has to be a new design. It's on a different plot of land. It's a whole new group. So yeah, I think it'll be all different. What else we got? Anything more Rays related? This about the stadium, Ashley, my lovely wife, says the people in the upper level will be wondering if this is an ice rink made for ants.
How it is at all the stadiums.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the upper level seats at Raymond James for football are really good. They're, that stadium is designed to have really good sight lines, and it does. So those upper level seats are really good for football.
Yeah.
Or following a puck. At
sure, they'll have the game on the big screen.
Yeah, the lights are made for football, not following a puck. But they've done these before, and they're going to do everything they possibly can to make it an enjoyable experience. But yeah, if you're on the upper deck, you're here for and I'm sure most people that are upper deck will be moseying around the pirate ship area and the other end zone area to get a closer look, which is always available to you. So those people will be everybody, even the people lower level will be watching it on the big screen for the most part. because you can't really see. And it's, depending on the weather, like in Nashville, we sat in the end zone about 40 rows up. So we did have some elevation to look down, and you could kind of follow the puck, but there's kind of a foggy layer that was over the ice. So it was just really, really hard to see what was going. And then the boards get a little, they get ice on them, and then they're hard to look through. So it's not, if there's one thing that's not great, it's the sight lines and being out. If you think you're going to really see the hockey game up close, you're not. It's not. That's not what this is.
That's what the big screen's for.
Yeah. So, and we got really good big screens in this, in our stadium, and great sound. So,
and you're there for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it made the sound. The sound is going to be cool. Like when I went to the Cotton Bowl here, JP, when the Stars had it, the sound of the sticks hitting the puck and the puck hitting the boards and the glass echoes through the stadium. It's unlike when you're in the arena. It's a different sound, but it's really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. The whole thing is going to be such an incredible spectacle.
Yeah.
And really leaning into Gasparilla. I love that part of it.
It's one of the things the NHL has gotten completely right.
And one more on this, and then we'll get to Zac Robinson. That $2.3 billion estimate, says JS813 guy, is still less than the subsidy portion of what Stu was offered at the gas plant location, yet the TBT didn't complain about that amount. Yeah. Just this hypocrisy is just, $2.4 billion cost to taxpayers, which they never printed, by the way. They never talked about that. It was always $600 million, which did not include the interest from the city side, did not include the interest from the county side, did not include the loss of property taxes on where the stadium was, did not include the $700 million real estate boondoggle. So it didn't include any of that stuff. And that's the way they always printed it. And that's a false narrative. That's a completely false narrative. But again, there's agendas here, and we recognize them. And that's, is what it is. We just point it out. We're just pointing it out. You make your judgments on the whole thing.
Yep.
And one more. I said one more. I want to include all you people. Randomness, my thing, I guess is what his name is. So, JP, any idea on what the timeline needs to be as far as getting construction started to realistically open in 29? Again, we don't know what's involved here. Is it a retractable? Is it a stationary roof? What kind of roof is it? It's a lot of things that are going to go into timeline. I know they're sticking to the 2029 timeline because that is critical to cash flow. That's one of the things people aren't really considering is no matter how much money a group has, they have to have a timeline of when the cash is coming in and when it's going out. So there's going to be, like with the Braves, they got $134 million bump in local revenue when they open their new stadium just in the first year because of expanded season tickets and mostly premium seating. And the Rays make very little, comparatively speaking, on corporate suites. This new stadium is going to be loaded with corporate suites and premium areas because that's what all new stadiums are. So that money is going, and a lot of that money is going to come in up front. So that's going to be a huge windfall, and they need that. They're counting on that for 2029. So that's why they're really, really sticking to this timeline. Now, the Braves built their stadium, I think, in 27 months. I believe it was 27, 28 months, if I'm not mistaken. But again, that was a no-roof stadium. So I know everybody wants answers right now, but we can talk it through and tell you what we think, but we don't have them. We don't have an exact cost. We don't have who's paying for what. So we can just, do our best here to kind of think it through.
Yep.
Oh, and one more. Twin Peaks filing for bankruptcy gives me less hope in the future generations.
Oh, they've done that like 3 times.
I know. But I mean, in the last 3 years, we've had Hooters and Twin Peaks. I mean, if these are institutions, beer,
boobs.
We can say boobs, right? Beer, boobs, hot girls serving chicken wings. If you want to say that's toxic masculinity, guilty. All right. Yeah. So whatever. What's wrong with you guys? You guys don't like the kids today don't like this? I don't get it.
My kids do because they were raised at Hooters.
Right.
I have a picture of each one of my kids, barely old enough to walk, at Hooters, the Hooters girl holding them, like on each visit. It's the same tradition I had in my family as when we went to the Rangers ballpark in Arlington, having my kids' pictures on every trip taken with the Nolan Ryan statue. All right. We have a catalog of kids with Nolan Ryan and a catalog of kids with their Hooters waitress. It's how I raised my boys.
Well, my first wife was totally threatened by it. Couldn't stand it. Equated it to a strip club. My second wife worked at Hooters. I upgraded.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Wait, you've only had two?
Yes, and that's all I'm ever going to have.
You got some catching up
That's
to do,
all
JP.
Ever going to have. Trust me on that. Thank you, honey. You're the best. Love you. And she could still rock that outfit, by the way. 100%.
I'd rather see you in it.
100. No. 100%.
That seems to be JP's Halloween costume.
No.
Hooters JP.
DJ Kitty was enough. All right, quick break. When we come back, we got some sound from yesterday's press conference as we grilled Zac Robinson. And I've got some interesting tidbits from my friends in Atlanta about the Zac Robinson experience. So, yeah, we got all kinds of stuff coming your way today. And we're brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa, who are, what's late in this? It's the 28th, but they haven't drawn for the gas card just yet. So they're still giving away that $2,500 gas card for a year at Genesis of Tampa. Just go in there, get a test drive, and they'll 10X your entries for that sucker. They're always giving away stuff over there. You know what they're really giving away? Cars. They give away lots of cars. Well, not so much give, but the price is almost like they're giving it away. Almost. Go check it out. They have great lease specials going on. And considering what you get in these incredible Genesis cars, the GV70, GV80, the coupe, just absolutely tremendous technology and luxury for a very, very affordable cost. Go check it out. You'll be shocked. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, right there off 275. Back in 3. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience Advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucks on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour, as well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays. You get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesday, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning. You get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucks play. We'll see you there. Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Alberton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's some love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Let's go.
Right now.
Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, my favorite bar and restaurant to hang out at because they got indoor, outdoor. The staff is absolutely fantastic. It is the best sports bar in Tampa. Go check them out just north of 275 right there on Dale Mabry, just south of the stadium, right near that spaceship thing. I don't know what's in there, but it looks cool.
I do.
I bet you do. Those aliens, man. Yeah, we always hoped when they came down, they would look like that too.
We did.
Fantastic. But the Riveters is right next door, and they have the best chicken wings, the buffalo chicken dip is fantastic, all included in their happy hour menu. So start your Gasparilla weekend and your Lightning watching tomorrow night. You can watch the Lightning game if you're not going to it, right there at Riveters. And the Super Bowl, they have one hell of a Super Bowl party. I'm sorry, big game party. Can't say.
There you go. Yeah, we don't have those licensing rights.
No.
Real quick, JP, before you get back into sports, can I bring the room down for just 1 second? Because we do have an anniversary we need to recognize today.
Okay.
On January 28th, as it has now been 40 years since we lost SDS 51 in 1986, as I was sitting there watching live on TV. I stayed home because shuttle launches back then were still a thing, and they'd show them on national TV, right? Every channel we had. And I knew when they were, and I would fake sick because I wanted to watch them. We watched them at school, too. I was in middle school or high school at the time. I think that was my freshman year. And, I wanted to watch it from home. I was really big into the space program, and I had models of shuttles everywhere. And, I wanted to watch it from the comfort of my bedroom. So I faked home, and I remember when it happened, I ran into my mom's room, and I was like, Mom, the space shuttle just blew up.
Yeah.
And she cussed me out because she did not think that joke was funny. And I said, Mom, turn on the TV. And she turned in, sure enough, So it was a day that I will remember for the rest of my life. For some people, it's, it's like 9/11, really, because you remember that really well. And for some folks, the Kennedy assassination and things like that. But it was the first time we'd lost astronauts, on their way to space, really. We lost, of course, the Freedom 7 on the launch pad. But yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal for 16-year-old Timm. And I just, 40 years now. I thought it was worth recognizing them today.
Yeah. So that was 86.
Yes.
Yeah.
January 28th.
I vaguely remember looking up and seeing the remnants of it.
Really?
Yeah. Because I would have been in Tallahassee, I believe. For some reason, I remember that. And it was shocking. So shocking. I mean, you saw it. I didn't see it happen, obviously, but you go back and you watch it on television. You're like, oh my God. Yeah.
Now see, we had the Columbia disaster in, what was that, 03. And we could see it because it broke up over Texas, and we
Right.
were all out there watching.
Maybe that's what I remember. Yeah, maybe that's.
I'd always go out there and watch it. Watch it because you could usually see it if the weather was nice. You'd be able to see it coming in. It's just like a little streak across the sky, and sure enough, we saw the fragments. And obviously knew what happened. And but
if you've been to Kennedy Space Center and you've been up in the shuttle, they have a shuttle there that you can walk through. Yeah. It's an amazing piece of technology. It really, really is. And to think that just one tile failing was the reason. And I remember it was so cold when they launched it. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this is going to do, this is something. I remember thinking that, like, man,
so did they.
Yeah.
That too,
yeah.
Apparently.
And that ended up being the deal. All right. So the headline from the Zac Robinson press conference, right, is something we did not expect. And aviation takes a shot at it. Zac Robinson interview impressed me more than I thought. He did say he lost sleep over Bowles' defense. Crickets from the room after he said that. Oh, well, I was in the room. I was in the room. And I chuckled. I did, but not, hopefully not
Zach.
audible. But it was like a fart in church. When he said that, everyone was like, really?
He has to know, right, that he screwed up with that. No,
he doesn't. He did, because think about it. He has no idea what the fan base is saying here about Todd Bowles and everything. I mean, I don't think he's going on social media. If he did today, he's going to find out that was the lead of the press conference. Are all laughing at you and he torched Bowles every freaking time. It was obviously a very, he must have known he was going to get the question. And I forget. I think Rick Stroud asked the question very, or maybe by Ira Kaufman, very politely,
Sure.
And that's what he said. And he said it like twice. He said it like more than once. And obviously you want to give platitudes to your head coach that just hired you in the organization. But that just seemed like it was unnecessary. You didn't. So
maybe it was a poor choice of words.
You kind of lost some points there, Zach. Like you were doing really well. And then when you went down that road, that was not. Yeah, as Mr. King says, losing sleep over a Bowles defense should automatically disqualify you from coaching in the NFL. Joel Forsland says Robinson definitely had a smirk on his face when he said he was glad he didn't to have to prepare for Todd's defense anymore. At least he's got a sense of humor. No, he was serious. He was 100% serious. This is all you people want to talk about. I knew it. Zac Robinson from Buck's Basement says, saying that he lost sleep planning against Bowles' defense. Why he lying? Dude probably slept like a baby knowing he was about to torch the shit out of that crap defense. I mean, in a real way, you give him a pass here. He's just, trying to, be nice and say nice things, right? But there's a little piece of you that says, why you bullshitting me? But I get it. So let's go through a little bit of the sound and then we'll kind of break it down. We took out a couple of pieces here. So let's play. Let's go right from the first one here, Timmy. Zac on Baker. I think this is about when Baker went to the Rams and he was there for that 5-game stretch. That's where they started their relationship.
Like I mentioned, it was a challenging season. And I know Baker had been through adversity. He had a great success in Cleveland and then obviously went to Carolina. And he came in right away and was meeting guys for the first time in the huddle on Wednesday practice. And you could just see everybody gravitates towards Baker. And that's what you're looking for from that position. You want that true igniter. You want the guy that elevates the rest of the group. And when you have a guy like that, you have a chance to win every single Sunday. And the impact that he has, obviously, just as a leader, you can speak to the talent and the type of player he is, all those things. But those guys that give you a chance every single Sunday and the guys in that locker room know it, it's a big deal.
What about Baker's abilities? What do you like about his abilities, not only at the line of scrimmage and what he can handle from that in your offense, but also getting him out on the move and the bootleg, for sure. I know you love to do, and how his skill set fits that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Baker was number 1 pick in the draft for a reason. In terms of the arm, there's not a part on the field that he can't attack. So you start there, and then you get to the instincts, the feel for the game. you mentioned the movement part is huge. I mean, you have to be able to move at this day and age in the NFL, as you guys know. And his ability to throw on the run, he's probably the best in the league throwing on the run. He's great in the keeper game, great in the boot game. So looking to, evolve that part and make sure that we're playing to Baker's strengths, the rest of the guys' strengths. But that's a huge part. The third down conversions, like those are tough downs. And we have a quarterback that can obviously extend those plays and pick up first downs with his legs. Huge.
Zach, you're the fifth offensive coordinator.
That was my question there at the second part about using Baker's legs. And I think it's something that he loves to do, that Baker loves to do. He likes to get out of the pocket. He doesn't want to stay in the pocket. I thought last year Josh Grizzard really kind of kept him there a little bit too much. I would have liked to seen him on the move a lot more than he was. So I think this is a good, as we've said, I think this is a really good marriage with Zach's offense. The wide stretch and the bootleg coming off of that, it's what a lot of teams are doing. It's very successful. It helps your run game. It helps your pass game. It helps your quarterback if he's 6'1". Get him out. Don't let him sit in that pocket, especially like last year you had 2 substandard guards and a center that was struggling, and you're dropping 7 yards back, and you want him to read the whole field. I get it. You can't do sprint out and bootlegs all the time, but I thought they could have put him on the move a lot more than they did. And I think Zach will do that. By the way, Baker was there, and I didn't even see him because Baker he kind of came in late and was sitting in the back or standing in the back. And it's not a huge room, but everybody's facing forward and looking at Zac Robinson's cute little kids. The 2-year-old boy, it was his birthday, and he had a Mike Evans creamsicle jersey on, and then the 4-year-old girl's got her pom-poms and her Bucks jersey. So we were a little distracted when Baker walked in. A cute family. And so Baker walked in. He had a hoodie on. He didn't take any questions, didn't want to really talk. But the bottom line is they have a great relationship. From when they worked in L.A., Baker was a big part of bringing Zach here. So you've already got that, and there's a lot of continuity. Zach talked about that. There's a lot of crossover from the offense that they've been running. So it's not going to be a wholesale changes and a whole new system. So there's a lot of crossover in terminology and the plays they run. So it won't be a huge deal. All right, so this is from one of my Atlanta peeps that I used to work with. They said the Falcons' offense was a disaster, but I think it had a lot to do with Michael Penix Jr. They would never let him do anything but pistol, and he wasn't comfortable. So I think it's not fair to say, really. I think it's an inconclusive response. I know there was some stuff in the beginning where he was in the booth, and then these are the people that covered this team would probably not have a lot of great things to say about the offense in general, because last year, even though they moved the football, I think they were 24th in scoring. So red zone and third down were not great. And that's where the play caller really shines. And I asked Zach that question. I think we might have it in one of these, but we'll just go right down the line. And, I asked him from a philosophical standpoint, and he says players over plays. So he's a guy that, wants to get Mike Evans the ball. And he did say he would love to have Mike Evans come back, but didn't really have any insight to whether he was. But, he's going to want to get the ball to his best receivers. And I like that. In the red zone and third down, go to the guys instead of trying to, a lot of play callers will, they want to shine, right? They want to trick you. They want to come up with some great design and get, your third tight end open in the flat. And that's great, except the third tight end will drop that ball 9 times out of 10. Puka Nacua will not.
In the Bucks case, your first tight end will drop the ball.
Exactly right. So thank you. Well done. So yeah, you and I like that philosophy. If you got a Bijan Robinson, get him the goddamn ball on third down.
And in the red zone. Which they had trouble with. Yeah. So again, different personnel, different philosophy, different personnel. We'll see how it works. I think there's a good mesh here. Obviously, he's as close to Liam Cohen as you could possibly get, and that's what everybody wanted. They're best friends, he and Liam. They work together, obviously. They talk ball all the time. So if you like Liam, this is as close as you're going to get to him.
I think that's
if
a
you
pretty
don't
good
like
endorsement.
Liam, do we have to hate Zac Robinson too? Because I'd rather not
Yes, you
hate
do.
Zac Robinson.
Well, your reasons for hating Liam are silly, but
They're not silly. They're legit.
completely silly. Let's do another one. The Bucks Cohen. While we're on the Cohen thing, let's do a
Cohen.
They vacation together. They play
Sure,
golf
I mean,
together.
this is a
Great.
group of guys that has a lot of continuity. They've played a lot of good football together, and so there'll be some carryover. Obviously, from Liam and I worked together in LA. The foundation and the beliefs that we have, coming from Sean and that system is definitely what we're going to be all about. But I'm looking forward to. I feel like I know these guys as players, just from watching tape. The last handful of years, but I'm looking forward to obviously getting to know these guys on a personal level. That's what it's all about, and obviously we'll stay connected as a group and build this thing the right way. But it's a great group of guys, great group of coaches, and I'm just fired up to get an opportunity to coach these guys.
So Zach, what is your philosophy?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll go to the next one. Attack mode. I think this was picking up on that point right
Great
there.
question. I think we all have a foundational belief in what we want to do scheme wise.
Is there a kid there?
Offense
Yeah, his kid.
Ever evolving, and you're adapting to your players. You're adapting to, your quarterback, your offensive line, the skill group, all those things. And then ultimately, that's what the offseason is great for. It's like I said, there'll be some great carryover. There'll be some, new things that we did in Atlanta. There'll be some things that I've never done, they've never done that might fit us. So the great thing about offensive football, there's more than one way to do it. I think before you even get to scheme and specifics, it's your style of play. And we want our guys to always be in attack mode.
I like
we
that.
want our guys to play with relentless play energy, effort, and strain. I think you start there. You want the guys to just love playing the game together. And that's evident from what I've watched from these guys over the last couple of years. So you start with those things, and then you build the scheme and the fundamentals and the techniques after that. But like I said, there's a great foundation here with the players, with the scheme that has been put in place here, and they'll be just tailoring and tweaking, from there.
Bowles asked you what
So yeah, there's not a whole lot of new. I mean, there's going to be new, but it's not a completely new system. You're not going from one. These are all McVay Rams-based concepts. Right. A lot of the terminology is going to be the same, and that's the reason you hired Josh Grizzard for continuity, right? So this is continuity with 2 years of play calling experience. Now, some will say it's not great play calling experience. I think it was way better in year one, which tells me this was more about quarterback issues last year. And Dave Archer came on last week, who's a Falcons radio guy, former NFL quarterback, and told us that, you've got a left-hander and a right-hander, an older guy, a younger guy. They're just totally different skill sets, and he had to build an offense for both of them. And I think that's really difficult. And the pistol stuff was really more about scheme and the fact that Penix really they didn't trust him under center. And so that was a problem. And there's something that they'd have to work through because he just had never worked under center for in college. So this is a whole new deal. I don't want to judge him by everything what he did in Atlanta, but he also started up in the box, by the way, and then came down to the field, and he likes the field much better. Well, that's a growing pain that we don't have to go through. So he already knows that it works better from the sidelines now. And that's something with Grizzard that everything was new last year. And new play callers obviously are going to go through growing pains. And we got 2 years of him already doing this, and he's a better play caller for it. All right, let's do the last one here. Please, sir, I'm not sure what this one's about, but
it's a big deal.
We'll listen
we
together.
Got Baker in 2022. We've had some injuries at the quarterback spot.
About the Rams.
I've known of Baker for a long time. I went to Oklahoma State. He went to Oklahoma. He diced us up every single time, that they played. Have had a ton of respect from him from afar as a player. And then to be able to get him in there and see just the type of worker he was, I'll never forget. We gave him a handful of plays, short week, Thursday night game. So we gave him kind of a menu of plays, and Baker probably tell you about 20 to 25 plays. And it was like at 10 o'clock at night. He came in the next day, and I saw his notebook. We had bathroom break. I saw his notebook. He had highlighters everywhere, color-coded. And right away, I was like, okay, I know the player, I know the talent, but he's made of all the right stuff. And so, obviously, that time that we spent together was invaluable during a tough season. He came in, ignited that group. But I'm fired up to work with Bake and the rest of the guys. It's a good group of dudes, and I'm looking forward to it for sure.
All right, so that's Zac Robinson. And by the way, I didn't know this. He played with Tom Brady. He was a 7th round pick and went and actually knows Jason Light from those Patriots days, and was in camp. Got released at the end of camp, but spent a whole training camp with Tom Brady. He said he obviously learned a lot from him on how he prepares. So that's another influence.
He probably taught Tom Brady everything he knows
about deflating the footballs. Yeah.
About throwing the football.
Yeah. And speaking of Deflategate, by the way, Todd Monken hired as the head coach in Cleveland. Good for him. Good for him. I mean, good luck, but good for him.
He's a
good dude.
He's a very good dude. That's just curious to me, though. The only way I can see him taking that job is he was not getting a lot of looks anywhere else.
Yeah. And nobody else wanted the job.
Nobody else wanted that job, man. Anybody, and look, that job's going to be a horrible job until they finally fire Andrew Berry. He is that franchise.
And now you got the whole Shedeur thing to deal with.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
God.
Pro Bowl quarterback Shedeur Sanders.
Shut up.
Pro Bowler.
He is a Pro Bowler.
He's a Pro Bowler. Well, he gets to play.
Until yesterday, I had the same amount of Pro Bowl appearances as Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, but now you can't say that anymore.
Can't say that anymore.
And you don't have as many Instagram followers either. They were literally saying yesterday that's why he's on the team, because of his amount of Instagram followers. That's why he was named to the Pro Bowl.
I don't think the NFL is hurting for social media attention.
I know, right? That's what we're talking about.
Doesn't make sense.
That's what he's a very popular player. Okay.
Look, I got nothing against Shedeur Sanders. Like, I hope that he can play. I hope that he becomes a legitimate starter in the league.
Yeah.
But right now, I think the reason anybody that scrolls TikTok or any social media, you get these people who think that Shedeur Sanders is some martyr that's going to die on a sword.
That whole narrative is just,
and that drives me crazy. I'm like, he was a 5th round pick for a reason. All right.
Yeah. As Cam Newton said, he wanted him to fail. What did he say? He wanted Shedeur Sanders to fail. Stefanski, the head coach, wanted his quarterback to fail. That's what
so ridiculous. Cam Newton's an idiot. I can't stand him. Go buy another freaking scarf to wear.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into the Bill Belichick thing. We're going to get into all that other stuff with one of my favorite people to talk sports with, my good friend Chris Garrido. We used to work together many years ago.
Don't forget to set up his camera.
We will. We'll set up his camera. We'll do all that stuff. And he's got a book that is out, Fit by 50. There it is, right there. You need to buy this book, Tim.
Hey,
we're going to send you one.
Tell him you had to sign it, and then you can mail me one. I want one.
All right. It's a great story. That's him on the top. Is that Stone Mountain? Right? That's Stone Mountain. I know that view.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. So we're going to talk all things sports, local sports, and get into his incredible inspirational story as well. Stay with us. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted #3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now.
Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. You know that if you're going to pay for all this insurance, you might as well have a company check all the companies that they represent, dozens and dozens, and let them fight for your business. You don't call some 1-800 number, somebody speaking kind of English in the Philippines. No, don't do that. Call Italiano Insurance, and you'll have an actual human who speaks very good English, will answer the phone and direct you to another great representative like Charity, who will shop all your insurance needs around, hopefully save you hundreds and thousands of dollars like they've done for so many people. And they can make sure you get all your discounts, make sure you have business insurance, flood insurance, everything you need at the least cost possible for good insurance. So give them a call, ItalianoInsurance.com. Tell them JP sent you. Over 60 years they've been here in local business. All right. I would like to bring in a longtime friend of mine and a very inspirational young man. He has written a book called Fit at 50. His name is Chris Garrido, and you may have seen him. What did we call that? What was the name of that group that you worked for that did local sports here, that you were the Tampa correspondent?
Technically, at the time, it was Sunshine Network.
Sunshine Network. Mm-hmm. But there was another one. I forget. Yeah, Sunshine Network.
It was Fox Sports Sun at one point. There's been a lot of iterations.
Chris Garrido joining us here. What's up, brother?
How are you, man?
I am well. Thank you for coming in, man.
I'm just happy that you referred to me as a young man. Thank you.
How old are you?
Like 5
You're
years
50.
younger than you.
5 years? Okay. Well, you're young.
There you go. I'll take it.
You feel young, and you look great.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you have opinions on local sports. You were a longtime sportscaster. Tell the folks your background. For those who don't know.
I graduated from the University of Florida in 1999. Was fortunate enough to start my television career in Tampa. Not really sure how that happened. Like JP said, I worked for Sunshine Network, but we didn't have studios in Tampa. So I worked out of the WFLA studios, got to work with JP and Chris Thomas and all the people that came through there.
The golden age, baby.
Oh man, those were the days. I didn't know how lucky I was, by the way. When I think back on some of those times and the conversations I was privy to at, what was that, 25 years old? I mean, it's crazy. But that didn't last long because we lost our sponsors. So in 2003, I got laid off and was fortunate enough to land at WB38. They started a 10 o'clock newscast where I was the weekend sports anchor with Mike Neighbors, a friend of yours who was our sports director.
Yeah.
Nabes and I were there for 2 years and then got laid off again, as is the nature of the business.
Yes, as we know.
Right by the time I got laid off, though, Dave Cook was moving on from WFLA, and they needed a producer, and they needed a producer very quickly because Wade Boggs was going in the Hall of Fame, and we were doing all that summer coverage.
Yes.
And so I had familiarity with the department and with you guys, and somehow got lucky enough to get hired as a senior sports producer at WFLA at the ripe age of 28 years old.
How much fun was that?
It was unbelievable. Those are some of my best times professionally.
Mine as well. I mean, as I look back on my career, that was the heyday. It's been all downhill since then. No, I kid. It was fun because that was the time when we're actually spending lots of money. It was kind of it was trending down at that time when you became the producer. But when Chris was there in the late 90s and early aughts, we were doing network quality pregame shows out of Raymond James Stadium with like a crew of like 4 cameras. I mean, it was crazy stuff. And it was the way local sports needed to be done at that time. It was the heyday. And we covered everything. And we did it.
And did it well. When I started, we had 3.5 minutes a night for sports. When I left, we had 1:20. So that'll just show you, in that 8-year stretch, how the decline was so rapid.
And it mirrored the decline in viewership, by the way. And one of the many curious choices that I never really understood, we got to cut sports time, and it would always be the same. Well, the people can get the scores on ESPN.
Nobody cares about local sports.
Nobody cares about the story. Yeah, go ahead and take the sporting event off the air while Tiger Woods is putting for history. And see how many people care about sports. I mean, you were in the building that day, were you?
Yeah, I was there. But the same argument could be made for weather. That's like saying I can get the weather on the Weather Channel. Yeah. They would never cut weather.
Never.
Local news is weather, news, weather. Somewhere down here is sports.
Yeah. Yeah. When they cut in to show a picture of a water spout that was in the bay like 30 minutes ago, right over.
Smallest water spout you've ever seen, by the way.
Smallest value. And the phones lit up. The phones went crazy. And then we had the actual assistant news director that made the call that day was one of those, nice lady, but she was one of those people that didn't give a shit about sports and would never miss an opportunity to tell you how unimportant you were, how unimportant sports was. Well, she found out that day how important sports was because she made the call and she had to sit there and answer those phones. Yep. And the news director, Dan Bradley, had to come in and answer the phones. It was nonstop for 6 hours ringing in the phone. And they said, and then she comes to me and says, you have to do an apology on the air. I'm like, oh, no. I'm not apologizing.
You didn't do it.
I said, your news person can apologize. I'll come on and do the highlight that they missed. How's that?
I'll tell you what, one of the most memorable moments I remember having. It's funny, you and Tim were talking about 9/11 and Challenger and all that earlier. My memory of 9/11 will always be being in the sports office with just me and Chris Thomas for the day.
Oh, wow.
I just remember his insight and how poignant he was. And, I asked him, I said, is this the end of the world? I mean, I was young. I was naive. We
all thought that.
What does this mean? And he said, young Christopher, it's not the end of the world, but the world will never be the same again. And again, like his ability to just capture moments with great words. But one of the first things he ever told me when I first started working there in 2000, he said, you want to be a television sports anchor, huh? And I said, yes, sir. That's what I wanted to do forever. And he goes, if I was coming in the industry right now, I would probably find another career.
Right.
You're coming in at the wrong time. Pick something else to do. I was like, nice to meet you too, sir. Happy to be here. Thanks.
Which is what you did.
Which is ultimately what I did. It took me 8 or 9 years to figure it out, but
yeah, it's hard to leave. There's an adrenaline rush look at my old ass still sitting here in a studio doing that.
Though, man, there's a lot to be said for that.
I guess. Well, I'm just so terrified of getting a real job that I'm just not going to. I'm almost to the end, so I've figured it out, I guess. But and you've made an incredibly successful transition to managing money, transformation.
I have not transitioned.
We'll tell the folks what you do for your day job when you're not losing tons of weight?
So for the last 13 years, I've been a financial advisor. I'm with West Shore Financial Group here in Tampa. Something I never thought I wanted to do. It was something that I kind of jumped into out of necessity. I, had a young family, and you bounce around in television for a while, and then I worked in private education with Huntington Learning Center, and that was all federally funded. My programs, federal funding went away, and so I think after getting laid off time and time again, it's like, what can I do with some sort of stability where I can kind of, have a little bit more say so in my career and the trajectory? And so,
exactly.
Being a financial advisor was something that was positioned to me. They, a friend of mine said, "Hey, I think you'd be really good at this. You're smart. People like you. Like, give it a shot." And I just thought, well, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this, but if I can just make a bunch of money, I'll just, suffer and be miserable and be fine. And I learned two things. Number one, I actually really enjoy it. I love the job. I'll never have another job. This is the career that I'll retire from. And number two, you don't come in making a bunch of money, it turns out. So I was wrong on both fronts.
But eventually you do.
Eventually you do. You just have to, you're building a practice from nothing, from thin air. And so that takes time, just like I'm sure building the viewership for a podcast and everything takes time as well. So
it does. It does. I've been able to capitalize on the great opportunities I've had in this marketplace, and we've built a following, and it's been fun. I love to do what I do. You love to do what you do. We just never know what paths the Lord's going to take us. And one of them, and this is where the book comes from, and we've been following your journey. Take us through your journey, your losing weight journey, what it has meant for you, and now the book that you put out.
So, I have to go back a little bit. I've been overweight my whole life, just really a product of decisions and upbringing and foundation. We didn't grow up with very much, so I didn't have a foundation of healthy eating. I ate what was cheap and what was available. And,
right.
And then you start to, as I started to make money, it actually got worse because now I could go out and buy whatever I wanted, And so I think just having a sedentary lifestyle and making poor choices from childhood and on, I by the time I was 31 years old, I had hit 400 pounds on the scale.
Wow.
And something that you may not even know is after I got laid off from Sunshine Network in 2003, it took several years, but years later, one of my producers, who you know very well, I saw him socially, and he said, "I just want to tell you," he said, you're one of the most talented people on the air that I've ever worked with. He's like, "But your weight was a problem."
Yeah.
And I think I was offended for like 5 seconds. And then I was kind of like, you know what? Like, I'm really glad he was honest about that, and it was probably apparent to everyone in the world except me. To me, I was just like, well, I can just talent my way through being overweight, and you can only do that for so long. I mean, the fact that I was on air in Tampa for as long as I was probably a miracle looking back. And so,
well, you were really good.
Yeah, well,
you're super good.
That. And I think I probably had to be, it's probably a testament to overcoming what I did overcome. But anyway, fast forward to 2024, after years.
If I could just say,
sure,
it never bothered me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I think to some people, and maybe I don't know if he was a producer, and there was probably feedback from the public that was ugly and terrible, but I think it's such a minority. I mean, to me, you were just always really good, a terrific writer, a great you have a great presentation, and you were great to work with.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that. I'll say this: it could also be one other thing. There's always fear in television, especially local news. Like, what's the other person doing? What's the audience thinking? And I think that fear, it really could have been like, what is the audience thinking about him on air? And they might not have cared either, JP. The audience may not have cared.
I think most people don't.
But in a producer's mind, they could see it as a liability. So it's okay. I ended up exactly where I'm supposed to be. Right. 2024, I lost my dad to cancer in March of 2024. I really just coped with some of that grief through the same bad habits. Was 440 pounds and was 49 years old, and basically just made the decision. I said, I've got to do something. It was right around my 49th birthday. And I said, I've got to do something. And it had gotten really bad. There's stuff that I share in the book. The book is very transparent, very vulnerable. Easy for me to write, though. I don't hide from any of this. I share in the book that, I used to pray at night that God would let me live to be 58 years old, because by 58, both of my kids would have graduated high school. And so if I could just have enough life to sort of barely get through their childhood, it would have been a blessing, because you don't live very long when you're 440 pounds and sedentary. And, COVID moved me back into my house. So I was working from home, and that made things worse.
Even worse.
Yeah. So I just made
it. It's not good to work next to a refrigerator.
No, my 17-mile commute turned into a 17-step commute.
Yeah.
That's probably not good either. But, I just made a decision and had a ton of help through it. A friend of mine, it was actually my neighbor at the time, was a nurse practitioner. She had lost a bunch of weight. I reached out to her that summer. My oldest son had a baseball tournament in Birmingham, and we had an off day, and they wanted to go to the zoo. And I remember I told my wife, I said, I can't go to the zoo. I can't walk that much. I can't stand that long. And so she took the boys to the zoo while I stayed at the hotel by myself. And I think on some level that was kind of it. I'm like, this has gone on long enough. Like, if I don't take control of this now, I'm not going to be here very long, candidly. And I
know how much you care about your family and your children. That will motivate you.
It will. JP, conversely, though, this is something I've learned about myself coming out. I mean, not coming out. I'm still in this transformation. It'll never end, by the way. I'm not done yet. I never will be done. I want perpetual improvement. That's the goal. But what I've learned, though, is a lot of people say, like, man, I bet you wish you started so much sooner. And I think, yeah, sure, right? Like, there's some structural things that carrying that much weight have done to my body, my neck, my back, and some issues that I'm still dealing with. Obviously, I feel great, and I would have loved to have felt great sooner. But the reality is I was exactly who I needed to be at each station of life. Yeah. Like, I had a family that I had to provide for. Then I had a business that I had to build. And so if it was me putting myself on the back burner to prioritize those things, then that was the choice I was going to make. And I would probably still make it today. Thankfully, I had enough time on the back end to make this transformation. But, long story short, today I've lost 147 pounds in 16 months. I'm down to 293 pounds. More importantly, I was full-blown type 2 diabetic. My A1C was a 9.9. My cholesterol was 225. Now my cholesterol is below 150. My A1C is a 4.8. My fasting blood sugar is a 68. Like, on
your cholesterol is better than mine.
On paper, I'm one of the healthiest people I know. And I still have a lot more work to do. And so the reality is, not only did I lose 147 pounds, but I've been training with a personal trainer now for 16 months at Legacy Barbell. If I could shout out Matt Levine, owner of Legacy Barbell.
Absolutely.
That gym, the culture is unmatched, and he's a huge part of this transformation. But while losing 147 pounds, I simultaneously added 32 pounds of muscle. So it's not just getting skinny, it's really about getting fit. And that's what it's been about for the last almost year and a half now.
And you're not doing Ozempic or any of that.
So I am on a GLP-1, and I talk very openly about it. The reality is I was a full-blown diabetic. So me going on diabetic medication made perfect sense.
Which is actually what that is.
Right. Now, the problem is there are people that are using it not for diabetes, just for weight loss. And then B, they're taking it to lose weight, but they're not doing anything else. And what they don't realize is these GLP-1 medications, they cause you to lose fat and muscle.
Yeah.
And so the fact that I've been able to significantly add muscle while losing that much fat has really been big. Now, the plan this year is to wean me off of it.
Yeah.
So
you don't have the Ozempic face.
Well, good.
You don't. Just so many people do it. I'm like,
it's all that muscle that I've built in my face.
Yeah.
Those cheek curls.
Like, I see a lot of people who, like, they have no face anymore.
Yeah. It really is the muscle, because they become skinny fat, right?
Yeah.
Like they're thin, but they look jaunt. They
don't look healthy.
They don't look healthy. Exactly.
No, they don't look healthy. Yeah. Well, I was interested to find out if that was part of it. So, and we're going to talk some more sports here in just a second. I'm going to turn you into the sportscaster again. We're going to talk about the Bill Belichick thing and all that. And I'm sure you have some thoughts on that, and the Rays too. But there's probably a lot of us out there that I'm like, I need to lose 20 pounds. I need to lean up. I just need to. My cholesterol's not great. It's not bad, but yeah, it's not where I want it to be. And I want to lean out a little bit. What have been your keys to getting this done? This is an incredible transformation. I know it takes an enormous amount of discipline, but I'm more about mindset. Like, how did you change your mindset?
So I would say a few things to that. Number one, I think the challenge with sticking with a plan is that there's not belief, right? Like, in the beginning of this, there's no way I could have believed that I would lose almost 150 pounds and do all the things that I've done. If I had a fast forward button and I could see what life would look like a year and a half later, I would be racing to the gym.
Yeah,
I would be racing to change my meal plan. But, belief takes time. And so in the absence of belief, you've got to create some way that you can stay disciplined until muscle memory
see results.
Right. Yeah. And so for me, it was completely arbitrary. I just told myself, I hate going to the gym. I hate working with this trainer. I hate everything about it. But I promised myself I won't quit for 90 days. It was just an arbitrary number that I picked. And I would say for the first 30 days, I was miserable. For the next 30 days, I kind of tolerated it. And by the end of 90 days, I had lost over 60 pounds and I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so if you do something long enough, you'll create habits and cruise control kicks in, muscle memory kicks in. The question is, how do we stay consistently intentional until that happens. And so for me, it was just a promise. And now looking back, and I've talked to a lot of people in the science world that have said there is a scientific research behind the number 90 days. It was just dumb luck for me. I just picked it, but they say that if you can stick with something for 90 days, you will actually create habits in any aspect of your life. The other thing that I would say, and I think it's really important for everyone to hear this. A lot of people say, well, if I can do it, anyone can do it. When I say that, I mean it literally from my core. I mean, at 440 pounds, almost 50 years old, I couldn't stand up straight. I couldn't walk 100 feet without stopping and being winded. I'm so vulnerable in this book. I couldn't tie my shoes. My wife had to tie my shoes.
Oh my
for me
gosh.
at 49 years old. Like, there's a lot of shame in that thank God I've already processed.
Yeah.
But the reality is I want to be completely vulnerable about all of this and transparent so that everyone knows if I have the ability to do this, there really is no one that can't do it. There's no one that can't do this.
Yeah. And when I make those when I gasp about those things you say, it's because of where you've come. It's so hard for people where you were to get to where you are because you lose hope, you lose faith, you lose all that. And you just don't think it's going to happen. It can't, there's too many forces working against me, and 99.9% of people give up and they make excuses. And it's just really great. First of all, for your health. And I see how much you love your children and your family, and to be there for them is the ultimate flex. Yep. That is the ultimate flex. So how can they get this book? Fit by 50, a year-long journey from death to life.
There you go. Yeah, it's on Amazon in paperback. As of next month, I'm not sure what the date is. It will be available through Audible as well. I just got done tracking the audiobook.
Oh, did you read it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I narrated my own book.
Goddamn right
no
you
one else
should.
can tell that story.
Right.
It's my story.
Yeah, and you're a good broadcaster, so why not?
So it'll be available next month on Audible. Today, it's available on paperback. And the other thing that I would just mention for anyone that wants to make any change in their life, no matter what it is, these changes will carry over to every aspect of your life, and you don't even realize what it's robbing you of. Like me being this healthier version of myself that intentionally shows up for me every day allows me to show up for my wife better in our marriage. It allows me to show up better for my kids, my clients in my practice, my friends. I'm a better friend. I got to a point where I was so unhealthy that if somebody asked me, can you help me or can I do a favor? My answer was by default, no. Because I knew that I physically wasn't able. You want me to help you move? No, I can't even stand up for 20 seconds, right? And so the reality is now I'm really looking for opportunities to help people. I want to go out and evangelize and try and positively impact as many lives as I possibly can because I missed out on so much time. And so the reality is whatever it is that you want to change it, because not only will that piece change, but every other aspect of your life will change for the better.
Great words, my friend. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to turn you into a sports. You have some thoughts on local sports?
I have a take on Todd Bowles, actually, that has something to do with my own weight loss transformation.
Oh, wow! Todd might need a little bit of that.
Maybe.
We all need to lose some weight, Todd, so I'm not speaking out of turn here. All right, quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Not only are they a great place to get a new air conditioner, they work with American Standard Heating and Cooling, but also they will come out and maintain your unit. $169, you get 2 visits. They'll clean the drain, top off all the fluids, everything that needs to be done. And that's better than having an emergency call that's going to cost you $500, folks. So be proactive, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And if you want to work for them, get your resume in now. Great place to work, and they're looking for techs. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Back in 3. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucks on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Timm Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Omerton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's the love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucks and Rays play. We'll see you there. Hey folks, Rays baseball and the summer heat will be here before you know it. So don't let your AC unit strike out and cost you hundreds or thousands for an emergency repair. Get a 1-year maintenance plan from Third Generation Plumbing and AC for just $169. They'll will come out twice a year and service your unit. Clean the drain line, make sure it's running to peak efficiency. If you need an emergency repair, it's going to cost you hundreds, if not thousands more. It's a no-brainer, guys. Just call the great friendly folks at Third Generation. They work with American Standard Heating and Cooling to ensure you have the most efficient and durable units. Their split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. So choose my guys, John Rodriguez and PJ at Third Generation, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling. Don't wait for the emergency that'll cost you thousands. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard. 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now.
Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. I think gold hit an all-time high today. Again, I'm asked the financial guy. Bring in your old gold jewelry. $5,600 an ounce or something. Did I see something? It's a crazy thing. But that means you can make money on your old gold jewelry, that old Guido chain you got sitting in there with the big Italian horn. Bring that in, turn it into cash money. Get yourself a nice watch or something while you're there. Get something for your honey. It's the Golden Diamond Source. Anything to do with jewelry, they got you covered. And if you're looking for that engagement ring, Do not start your relationship with a fake diamond. Get a real diamond, and you'll know you're getting exactly what they say you're getting at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Oberto Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Julie and Steve Weintraub, you know those folks.
It's
Chris Carrino.
Valentine's Day.
It is.
Perfect time for this.
I just got my Valentine's Day copy that we will be turning into a new Golden Diamond Source spot as we speak.
Love it.
So there we go. Chris Carrino here, longtime Sunshine Network local reporter, now local money manager. Can I call you a money manager?
You can call me whatever you want.
Is that what you do? So I'm going to turn you back into a sportscaster here. And everybody's talking about Bill Belichick not getting in to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. And I am going to be in the very small minority that says that's as it should be.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
On the first ballot.
The guy won 6 Super Bowls. He was an assistant coach for 2 more. Like,
He'll get in.
really?
He deserves to be in.
So we can make that argument for anyone then, right?
He'll get in.
No, they'll get in.
Deserves to be in.
It's very passive of you, JP.
He'll get in. It's like Pete Rose. Pete Rose is in the Hall of Fame. Did you know that?
Are you equating Bill Belichick to Pete Rose?
In a way. And let me just say, I don't think enough was made of Spygate.
Okay.
I don't think there's too much evidence out there. Are there other coaches that are sending film crews to other teams' practices?
Don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not, but don't.
I'm going to say no. There's a lot of smoke, and I think there's fire there.
Belichick was on the cutting edge.
He was. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
He's a pioneer, man.
Yeah, I'll give you that, and I respect every part of that except crossing over the line and cheating.
So transparently, is that the argument? The argument for him
I think
not
so.
getting in on first ballot?
Well, the word is that in the room there was talk of that, and I think, listen, he is a surefire Hall of Famer at 100%. Guy deserves to be in a Hall of Fame. Not going to argue that at all. So we have this small delineation of first ballot Hall of Famers and not first ballot Hall of Famers, right? So the ones that were, is Tom Brady a Hall of Famer? 100%. Should he go in on the first ballot?
Yes.
Yes. He was not directing Spygate. And Deflategate is whatever. That was a joke. Every player, every quarterback has been doing that forever. Yeah. He wasn't the only one. So I'm giving him a pass on that. But I believe Belichick orchestrated Spygate, and I think he did it a lot during his career. And I think they monkeyed with the headsets, and we have proof of that when the Bucs went there in 2003, I think it was, when Charlie Weiss told Rondé Barber, "Oh, we had all your calls, all your signals, everything. We knew what you were doing, and we still couldn't beat you." He's like, "What?" He's trying to give him a compliment, but kind of shared something that he probably shouldn't have. So yeah, I think there were times where they crossed the line. And if that cost him first ballot status, so be it. But he is a Hall of Famer.
Is your take then that he'll be a second ballot Hall of Famer? He'll never be able to say he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that's his penance?
Yes.
I don't think it's the worst take ever. I'm okay with it.
But he's a Hall of Famer.
No, that is absolutely the worst take ever. That is a ridiculous argument. You are either a Hall of Famer or you are not a Hall of Famer. This first ballot bullshit is for the birds, dude.
But Tim, how do
I
you
hate
really
that
feel
we
about
have
it?
guys. I absolutely hate that we have people. Well, they're a Hall of Famer, but they're not a first ballot. What the F does that even mean, dude?
I just explained it to you. Were you not listening?
You're either a Hall of Famer or you are not. They should not have a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, senior, whatever. There should not be any of that. You either get in the Hall of Fame on your vote or you do not get in the Hall of Fame on your vote. I'm done with these second, third, and fourth ballots.
No, wait. So if you don't get in on your first ballot, you never get in?
There should not be a second ballot. You are either a Hall of Famer or you
you're
are not.
Yeah. He's saying if you don't get in on your first ballot, you
I like the nuance. I like the nuance.
It's not your first ballot. It's your only ballot.
Yeah, that's going to be like 50-member Hall of Fame classes.
No,
because people penalize, like what JP is doing. You penalize guys. Well, we're going to let you in, but we're not going to let you in right now. Like, that's a joke. You're a Hall of Famer. You get in on your one ballot, or you don't get in. It's ridiculous. I hate this BS. I'm so sick of sports, JP. I'm gonna go have a beer.
You're in the wrong place, brother.
Get out of here, then. All right. That's your take. I have my take. And Chris, where do you vote on this?
Firmly in the middle.
Firmly in the middle.
F you.
In the middle.
He's in the middle.
Firmly in the middle.
All right.
What do you think about the Todd Bowles discussion here in town? You think he should stay on? If you were the Glazers, Chris Carrino, what would you do? Move up on that microphone. Be a professional. Come on.
I mean, it's been a long time, man.
I know.
Earlier, you wanted me to talk about the price of gold. Now I have to be a sportscaster.
You do. I expect versatility from you.
So I love Todd Bowles. Let me just get the disclaimer out there. I think he's an unbelievable human being, and I am a Todd Bowles apologist to a fault. I feel like the Bucs fans really turned on him way too soon. And then last year, it started to become really, really hard for me to justify some of my defense. I will say this, and this is sort of as it pertains to my own life and my health wellness journey and my transformation. It is not lost on me that Todd Bowles has gained a lot of weight. And I'm not going to make a direct correlation that, he's gained weight, that's why he can't coach. But in my own life, and by the way, 50-year-old lifelong fat guy. I'm not fat shaming anyone.
You speak from experience.
Yeah, in my own life, what I have realized and learned looking back is that when I didn't have control of my weight and my overall fitness and wellness, I really started to lose control in other areas of my life too. And then conversely, as I started to take control of those areas, other areas of my life started to tighten up as well. And I'll give you an example. Several years ago, I was at a senior expo doing some marketing for my practice up in the Villages. And I met a lovely old woman who said to me, "Why would I ever let you manage my money when you can't even manage your own weight?" Well, old people.
Granny.
Unfiltered, right? So
savage.
Yeah. So Granny told me to lose 100 pounds and then call her and I could be her financial advisor. And I have lost 100 pounds. I don't think Granny's still with us at this point. It took me too long to lose the weight, unfortunately. But I just share that story though, because as I've become, and my trainer warned me about this, he said, people will treat you differently as you lose weight, for better and for worse. He said, some people, they'll look at you and they'll go, "I don't know who he thinks he is. Like, he's just always been my fat friend. And now he thinks blah, 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 blah." He said, but other people will treat you with a newfound respect. They'll start to,
and you've seen that.
And I feel it. I literally feel it to my core. And so I just wonder in a locker room full of, professional athletes that are at the peak of health and wellness. And, I just wonder, is there any part of that where maybe some of the respect has slipped a little bit, as the needle on the scale has gone up for Todd Bowles. And I also wonder conversely, if he could tackle that piece of it, I wonder how it would filter out into other aspects of his life, including his coaching success, the same way that it's filtered into my success as a financial advisor. I never thought that would happen, and it has absolutely shown up.
Well, from your perspective, that's a phenomenal take.
Yeah, unique take, because I've lived it, but
none of us could say that.
Yeah,
but I think there's some truth to that, 100%. I think there's, and you look at the way Todd has managed things over the last few years. I think he's done a great job of trying to be a better coach. You want to bring me a game manager? Sure, I'll do that. I don't know how much you used him at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. You want to bring me a new OC, whatever the situations are every year. I think he's done a really good job of being open to things, because coaches are really stubborn and old coaches are super stubborn. And I think Todd has a lot of stubborn in him. And he says he's going to change his scheme. I don't think that's happening. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's happening.
There's a certain nonchalantness that has come along with his coaching. And again, maybe there's a parallel there as well. But that's just the thing that I've seen. As his success on the field has gone down, I've watched his weight go up simultaneously, and I just wonder if it's a coincidence. And maybe it is. It's
an interesting perspective. What's your take on the Rays in the stadium situation? You guys, you left the business in what, 2008?
09, yeah.
We were already into that discussion, weren't we?
Yeah, we're still in it. It's still happening.
It's still going on. We're close. We're close.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have just gotten to the point where I couldn't possibly care less.
Stadium fatigue.
I'm so over it. I'll tell you this. I'm not driving to St. Pete for baseball games. Haven't done it in forever. Don't plan on doing it in the future. I actually rely on you. Like, I go to you and I'm like, let's see what JP says about the stadium deal, because you always seem to be right about it. I don't know who your people are, but you always seem, you do, because you always seem to be sort of one step ahead on this. But what a disaster. I mean, what an unmitigated disaster that this has become. And I just can't even, I don't have the energy to follow it anymore. Just tell me where they're going to play.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Hopefully soon we'll have answers. It's as I've said, it's going to get ugly early when they put out the financial plan. Well, it's already ugly.
Mhm.
You know, the $2.3 billion that slipped out last night. Everybody's going crazy over it, even though they've not seen one speck of plan, how it's going to be paid for, what that all includes.
Sticker shock.
Yeah, it's sticker shock. And I totally predicted this, and this will happen. And I just caution people, wait to see what the deal is. Let's see the entire deal, and then we'll make our judgments. The same thing about St. Pete when they all came out with the pom-poms and everything. And I said, yeah, it looks great. It's all fantastic. What's the deal?
Yeah.
Let's see what the deal is. And as soon as I saw the deal, I said, this ain't happening.
I remember you saying that's not going to happen, and everybody thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
And guess what? It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
So I lean on you now. You're my Rays Stadium Sherpa at this point.
I know you love your Lightning as well.
I do.
Thoughts on this?
To enough games. I got to get to more hockey games.
They got a big one coming up Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might need to cash in your 401k to go and take the family.
Oh, I thought you were inviting me.
I wish I could.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could.
Yeah,
I'm
no, it
barely
really
squeaking in myself.
No, you're not squeaking in. No, it is tough, by the way. Really, any sporting event to take a family of 4.
Oh my God.
Yeah. By the way, the one that we do all the time is WWE. We got a house full of WWE fans. Astronomical now. Astronomical. You can't get into
how much are those prices?
I mean, honestly, like if you want to be like mid-level or lower, you're over $100 a ticket, and now you're talking about family of 4 and $50 to park, and God forbid you want concessions or any kind of merch. It could be $1,000 night.
Can we do? And I really think we need a schooner tuna. You know what that is?
I don't.
You know,
I love the sound of it.
All right. So this was one of the great movies. Michael Keaton was in it, and what was the name of it? Mr. Mom.
Okay.
He lost his job, became a stay-at-home mom, and his wife was an advertising executive. And Schooner Tuna was a tuna with a heart, and they lowered their prices because everything had gone through. Can we just have one team come out and say, you know what? We have 81 baseball games. We're going to take 2 games a year, and we're going rock bottom prices for everybody who can't get in. Every seat in the house is $5.
Yeah. You know,
every seat in the house is $5.
You know what would happen?
People would just go to those games and no other games.
No, people would buy up all the tickets and then scalp them for
$50.
That's what happened to the Savannah Bananas. Savannah Bananas said, "Hey, every ticket's going to be $20. General admission, sit wherever you want." Can't get into a Savannah Bananas game. It's impossible.
And how much are the tickets now?
I mean, I think they still keep them relatively low, but you can't buy them in the primary market, so you got to go on the secondary market, and scalpers are just jacking them up. And it doesn't matter how much Jesse Cole says don't buy from scalpers. If it's your only way in the stadium, you're going to do it.
You're going to do it. Yeah, I know, but at least make an effort.
Yeah.
Make an effort to recognize how hard it is.
Your question about the Lightning, though. I saw they won 10 straight recently.
They won 14 out of 15, 12 in a row, I think it was, and they lost a shootout, but got a point. Yeah, so ridiculous.
Okay, and we're coming up into February, so I think it's about time for me to start caring about hockey.
You should, yeah.
Football's ending. It's about that time.
No, Vassie's starting to play like he did in the Stanley Cup run. He's been leads the league in goals against now. And these new defensemen, these young kids that have come up and really, it's interesting because now when Hedman and McDonough come back, it's like, don't screw it up, guys. and the reason that they've been so successful is they've kept it so simple. The defensive guys are just really, they take all the risk out of the game. They just keep it simple, and then they let their incredible offensive talent counterattack when they have opportunities. And this is what you get. I mean,
is John Cooper a Hall of Famer?
Oh, God, yes.
First ballot?
First freaking ballot because he ain't cheating.
All right, I want to make sure.
Because he ain't cheating.
Only ballot Hall of Famer.
If you cheat the game, you don't get first ballot status. That's how it works.
That makes a lot of sense, JP. Good
Thank
take.
you. Tim?
Dumb.
No.
Totally dumb.
That's why we love it here. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And he's never won the Jack Adams Award for the Coach of the Year. Maybe this will be the year, and it'll be, what'd be funny about this year is that everybody will go, oh, well, they started so slow, and now look what Cooper did. Oh, yeah. It's like, well, he was also the coach when they started slow,
But he was also the coach when they didn't start slow, and they came out of the gate like gangbusters. You didn't give it to him then either.
Right, exactly. So silly. What other thoughts do you have in the local sport realm? Any?
You're going to try to shut me down because you're so humble, but I'm just so blown away by you, dude. I mean, the fact that you're sitting here talking about sports in 2026, absolute survivor. I mean, it is hard to continue to move forward in this space. And you'll be self-deprecating and say, I don't know how to do anything else and blah, but no, it really is a testament to you. I'm on my way here this morning. I have friends texting me. They're like, what time are you going to be on JP's show? I'm like, how do you know that? Well, he just said something about it. I'm like, oh, so people are listening. Good job, JP. But
Are you shocked by
no,
that?
I'm not. No, but candidly though, I mean,
I am.
I see you on Lightning broadcast. I listen to you here. I literally, what are you, 30 plus years in at this point?
40
years.
I started as a part-time, started as an intern at 21 years old in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So, and then I got my first job there. It's probably 22. So yeah, 40 years.
It's
40
really
years.
hard. Like, and I know this firsthand. It's really hard to be in an industry where people constantly tell you what you do wrong and that you're not good enough and nobody cares. And the fact that you're 40 plus years in and in the same market, you know, and constantly, by the way, one of the themes of my book is, as I started to lose weight and people started to notice, they would compliment me on it. And I just started saying, not done yet. Thank you, not done yet. And not done yet has become like a mantra, you know, in my whole world.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, because
steal that.
We're all not done yet, right? Like, no matter what I accomplish, I'm just going to move the bar a little farther and then want to accomplish something else. And so, and then there's a faith-based element too. And I know we share a faith. Like, when I'm done here on earth, I'm still not done yet. There's a whole eternal life waiting on the other side.
I love that.
I've already told my wife, not done yet needs to be on my tombstone, because the reality is like, that is my whole mantra now. But part of not done yet though is an ability to overcome adversity, whether you go over it, under it, around it, or through it. And it's that theme of perseverance. And I admire you for that. I really do. Your whole life has been not done yet.
Wow. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man.
That's real. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that, because you've seen it from the inside. You know how the sausage is made. And, you know, when I think about it, 40 years, I was, working. I wasn't Gail Sierens working with film. She always tells me back at her days when she started, she was cutting that
I
film.
spliced film in college though.
Did you?
In 1996 at UF, we used to still splice film. Crazy.
Well,
absolutely.
I always know about, like, colleges are like, I don't know, 5-10 years behind.
Yeah.
A decade behind. I'm like, you better catch up. Yeah, that's funny. I did not know that. Now, I never work with film. I work with 3/4 inch tape and the big decks and the cameras were really, and all through that to where we are now. You know, it's a survivor's tale. It's you got to be a chameleon. Yeah. You know, now I don't just do this. I do sales. I do promotion. I do everything. It's not what I envisioned my career being when I was, sitting on the desk at News Channel 8 at 39 years old in a major market. You think you're going to be in that seat forever. That's the way it was. Once you get to that seat, you're just going to make money the rest of your life.
Nobody does it in sports though.
No,
happens in news, happens in weather.
A lot of there were, the Andy Hardys. I mean, he did it. Chip Carter was here forever.
How far back do you have to go to that?
Yeah, it's been
O'Donnell.
Yeah, Kevin stuck around for a long, long time. And he always did a great job. It's just, for me, it's been more about the evolution of the business. Mm-hmm. We have gone from, it's just totally changed. And now we have such a great platform that you can use. Now everything's fragmented. So you have to be able to do something that captures people's attention. And for me, it's always been be who you are. Yeah. Be honest. Bare your soul to your audience. They will see you as authentic and like it, because if there's one thing we don't have in this world, it's authenticity. Everything is fake. Nothing is real.
Everyone sacrifices authenticity for acceptance. That's
yes. Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, all of this tech in front of you, like you're running a little mini board here.
Yeah.
Like I remember 20 years ago, you didn't know how to use a nonlinear editor.
I still don't know.
Edit all your stories.
He still doesn't know how, Chris. I'm telling you, just don't let that.
Tim, I know you're on the other side, but just even sliding this slider up and down the board is like really impressive.
Well, like when I produced
Big O's show yesterday.
I was just going to say that. So I produced Big O's show yesterday, and we started in the first 5 minutes. There was no sound, and thankfully, I have my wonderful people in the comments like, "Idiot, no sound."
Hear anything.
So we had to start over, and then I effed that up by not clicking the YouTube button. So it's still a work in progress, but I'm not afraid to try it. I'm not afraid to do anything, and I will jump in. It's funny. I was having this conversation with my son last night, who has got a great job at IBM, and they, he's been in training for a while, and they
How old is Cullen now, by the way?
27.
Okay.
You remember the day he was born?
Yeah. So that sounds about right.
27. Which Shay's 23.
Okay.
God, and they're both doing great. And And he was like, Dad, man, I just, they just cut me loose and I'm on my, I have to go use my training now. And he starts ripping off all these things that he has to do with this incredible jargon of what he's doing with IBM now. He's a sales engineer. And he's like, he's all stressed about it. And he's like, I've had this, imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, you just ripped off all that stuff. You sound like you've been selling that stuff for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're doing. No, I don't, Dad. I said, well, you sure as hell sound like it. Yeah. I said, you know how long I fake it till I make it?
Amen.
You got to just do it, man.
We all have imposter syndrome. I don't care how long you've been doing something. My uncle growing up was a mentor for me, and he was vice president of special events for Paul Mitchell hair care products.
Yeah.
Multi-million, billion-dollar company, whatever. And he would single-handedly organize and execute these beauty shows with thousands of attendees and huge hotels in Vegas and Chicago and all that. And I just always remember I would go help him at shows on the road, and everybody, like, their hair was on fire, everybody's going crazy, and he was always so calm. And people would say something to him sometimes like, hey, why are you not freaking out like everyone else? And he had this famous line. He just said, it's only shampoo. And to me, like, that mindset just stuck with me. Like, and no matter how stressful things get, and you know what it's like hitting deadlines in television news. I mean, good God. But no matter how stressful it gets, it's only TV, it's only IBM computers, it's only shampoo. It only is what it is.
Yeah, it's like I told him. I said, what's the worst case scenario? Yeah. You lose your job, and you're super smart. And how long did it take you to get this job? A few weeks. Yeah, you're super smart. You're good looking. People like you. You'll get another job.
Your dad's a survivor. He wrote the blueprint on how to survive. You'll be fine.
I said, don't stress it, man, and don't let your tomorrow sacrifice today. You don't know what's going to happen. Well, I might have to move, and I'm like, might. Don't worry about it today. You know what you're doing,
JP. That's Matthew 6:34.
Yeah.
Don't worry about tomorrow. Each day has enough worry of its own.
That's right. You just kill today, and then see what tomorrow brings. Plan as much as you can.
Sure.
But I got news for you. There's somebody else making the plan. And it ain't you.
It's not you.
It ain't you.
As much as you want to think it is not.
You are not in control.
Time for a quick nugget, or we got to go?
Yeah, no, we got it.
So real quick nugget. My oldest son, Donovan, we always just thought that he would go to Jesuit. That was always the plan. He's got a 4.45 GPA, perfect test scores, 8th grade class president, all of that. And so the only school he applied to was Jesuit. Didn't get in. And so I've heard a lot of talk since then about, well, he didn't go to a Catholic middle school and they kind of get the priority and blah, blah, blah. Either way, he didn't get in. And so my wife and I were so distraught. And I did everything I could think of to try and get him in. I called the school, the admissions department. I'm talking to friends of mine that sit on the board.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to force the issue. And as time goes on, I just start to recognize he's not getting in. And so lo and behold, we just scramble and we go apply to 2 other schools. One of them was Calvary Christian High School in Clearwater. Unbelievable school.
Great school.
Great baseball program. And so they admitted him instantly, and he loved the school. And he's like, well, I want to go. Well, we live in Land O'Lakes. It's a 33-mile commute each way.
Oh.
And so he told me, he said, look, I'll go to a closer school because that's too much. And that's just how he is, right? And I told him, I said, listen, we're not going to sacrifice our dreams and settle, out of convenience. That's not who we are. That's not what we do. We'll make it work.
A great lesson, bro.
I had no clue how we were going to make it work. I just knew that we would.
Yeah.
And so the solution ended up I have leased an office in Clearwater, 3 minutes away from Calvary. I drop him off at school in the morning. 3 minutes later, I'm at my desk working. I'm right there if he needs me. I can go to his games and all of that. And then after baseball, we leave at 6 a.m. We don't get home till 9:30 at night sometimes. It's a lot, but we're making it work. Here's what's happened. Perfect GPA in 2 years of high school at a really difficult high school.
Yeah.
Just got invited to National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, fallen in love with Jesus, discipleship, Bible study, Wednesday night youth group, wants to go on a mission trip and get a passport next summer. Thriving in the baseball program, had a great season pitching. This fall, he 10 shutout innings, didn't give up a run.
Damn.
He's thriving in every way possible. And then I started thinking about it, and I said, wow, if I didn't have to drive to Clearwater every day, I would have never ended up at Legacy Barbell. I would have never started working with Matt. This whole journey doesn't happen.
Right.
And so I will never forget that lesson, and I will bang that drum until the day that I die. God's no's are sometimes exactly what we need.
100%.
I fought it tooth and nail. I tried to fight God's will and force my son into Jesuit.
You think you know.
Yeah, not realizing that he had this incredible plan laid out for us. And now my entire family is healthier as a result. We're all closer to God. We're exactly where we were supposed to be. And I just had no idea. And so quit fighting it. That's the lesson, man. You're, like you said, you're not in control. I just walk the steps that have been ordered.
Absolutely. And you want, fight for the things you want, but if it doesn't work out, it ain't the end of the world.
Right.
There are other doors that are going to open, and maybe that's a better situation. I go back to my son. We took him to St. Mary's here locally, which was the place, kids went in South Tampa when they come out, you got to go to St. Mary's, right, for first grade and kindergarten. And we didn't get in, and he's a smart kid, but I don't know how they figured these things. And I knew all the people there, same as you, all those. And so we ended up at Cambridge Christian, and the kids went there their entire, and they couldn't have been a better situation.
Yeah.
It was just that's where the Lord wanted us, and it was perfect for my children. And we were in the best school district, but that was what we needed.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well.
And
by the way, the principal over there, I forgot his name, or the athletic director, gonna kill me now. I just forgot his name. I'm sorry. I have this thing that goes on in my brain. Anyway, he was at Cambridge for a long time, and just great folks. And a lot of those folks have migrated over to Calvary, and I just heard great things. The Gibsons have been over there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Grayson's at Ole Miss now.
Yeah.
Had an unbelievable season last year. Neighbors is really good on that too. He wrote that book Pivot.
Oh yeah.
Again, another survivor, right?
Yeah.
And again, not always over or under. Sometimes it's around it. Sometimes it's through it. But there's a Helen Keller quote says, the bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. And I think about you. I think about Mike, I think about me. Like, we've all had obstacles thrown at us, and the reality is we just have to pivot. We have to advance and try to move forward. And you've done a great job of that. You have a lot to be proud of.
Well, I appreciate that, man. As have you. Right back at you. And I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. I know we don't do this all the time. We bitch and moan about the Rays and the Braves and all, and that's I try to bring you positive stories and keep it positive. That's what this whole Rays thing has been about. It's been a long journey. But we're gonna figure it out. I think we're gonna figure out it's gonna be the best thing to happen. And I'd say in your lives, it's the same thing. There's gonna be a lot of twists and turns. Just don't quit. Don't freaking quit, man. There's another day coming, and you don't know what it's gonna bring you. And have some faith and have some positivity in your life. And I would suggest have some faith, because it can get you through some really, really tough times. And I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in my kids' life. I've seen it in your life and so many people. So keep it going. Keep it positive. And you just don't know what the next day is going to hold and what great things. But do not, I talked about this, with the hockey thing. Everybody said, you can never do a freaking outdoor game in Tampa. The weather will never. You just can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Coldest day in history.
Coldest day in history.
My wife said that yesterday. She said, I can't believe the way this is working out.
But it's such a great lesson. You can come up with all the obstacles and not do shit because it'll never work. It'll never work. You don't know. You don't know it's going to be the coldest day in Florida history in Tampa Bay. And that's exactly what it is. And I think it's such a great lesson.
Not done yet, JP. Not done yet.
Yeah, we ain't done yet. Well, brother, thank you so much for coming in. Fit by 50 is the name of the book. My year-long journey from death to life. And look, wow, that's fought for me.
By the way, that's 50-year-old eye friendly right there.
Oh my God. Yeah,
14-point double spaced.
I could read this on a flight to Nashville. Perfect.
By the way, I signed that for you. There's a bookmark and a sticker in there. I think you'll appreciate what they say. And
this is awesome.
And I'll sign a book and we'll get it in the mail to Timm also.
Nice.
Well,
nice. I love it.
I've been yeah, partner. Let's go. We got to get you healthy. We need you sticking around here a little bit longer.
At least till I can show you how to run the board.
Yeah, then I'll kill you. Then I'll off you.
Then you don't need them anymore.
Yeah, nope. This is very nice. Thank you for the inscription. I appreciate it. Can't wait to read it, man.
For sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Man, all my friends are writing books. I guess I got to write a book.
Your turn. Boy, what a story you could write.
Well, and I want to do a companion documentary, but it's got to be on this ridiculous stadium saga.
Yeah, that's a big part of your life.
Doesn't have to be.
You could write a great book just on the history of your relationship with the Rays. Yeah, #1 bestseller.
I think it would.
Yeah, you've got some stories to tell going back 20 plus years.
How awesome would it be if I sat down with Stu and we just started rolling the camera?
Yeah, awesome is a word for that. Good.
God, that would be it.
I like seeing the light bulb pop on there.
That would be insane. Yeah, people might be interested in that.
Could just be JP Peterson, Memoirs of a Survivor.
Yeah. I could do that. All right. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you guys as well for stopping in here. And as you do each and every day, I can't do this without you guys. So I really appreciate it. A lot more people listening than I think each and every day. So thank you guys. Don't get the book Fit by 50, My Year-Long Journey from Death to Life by Chris Garrido. Have a great day, everybody. We'll try to get some more clarity on the stadium stuff. Watch our socials, and we will see you tomorrow. That's important.